Hey guys, what's up? It's Cycle Dad back here again with another video. As you can tell by the title, this week we're touching on New Bike Day. Up here in Canada, we typically get some pretty harsh winters and quite a bit of snow. So this year I'm thinking I should probably consider investing in a fat bike. So with that said, I've been doing quite a bit of research over the last little bit on what, if any, fat bike I would end up getting. So I narrowed it down to a few options. The first being Fat Bike 2 from the Moose Bicycle Company based out of Quebec. My next option was the Norco Bigfoot, which I can get here locally as well. My option after that was the Giant Yukon 2. And what I felt my last real option would be the Rocky Mountain Blizzard. They all range in the same price range, but the component buildup on them is wildly different from model to model to model. So let's start with the Moose Fat Bike 2. It's priced out at an average price just over $1,000. They apparently offer free shipping on this. I have ridden a Moose before. Matt Casey let me ride his Moose in Truro back this summer there. The build on it's pretty good for what you're paying for. It is an aluminum frame. It's a rigid fork, fully rigid bike. I'm finding on most of these fat bikes in the price range that I'm willing to pay for one right now, that the majority of them come with the 9mm quick release skewers and dropouts, which I imagine will be fine. I feel like I'm going to be using this mostly on groomed snowmobile trails and some of the more wide trails around here, so I don't see an issue with that. This Moose in particular, it comes with 26 by 4.8 wide tires, which is something I'm leaning towards, and it comes with a 1x10 drivetrain by Shimano. No dropper, nothing special. The color's really nice. It's a nice blue. It's definitely in the running. So the next one on my list was the Norco Bigfoot III, as their more budgeted model of fat bike. Very similar build to the Moose. The one thing that this has over top of the Moose, I find, is that the front fork is a through axle. So there's that. It is a Shimano 1x10 drivetrain as well, and the drawback to this bike, which I really didn't like, was that the brakes are mechanical, whereas on the Moose they're hydraulic. This pretty much knocked it out of the running for me. So next on my list of bikes to check out is the Rocky Mountain Blizzard 20. This bike comes in really nice blue. It's an aluminum frame. It's fully rigid like all the other ones I'm looking at. It does come with the 9mm quick release axles. One thing I really liked about this one in particular is that it comes with a SRAM X1 crank and SX 1x12 Eagle. So that's a huge up, in my opinion, from the 10-speed 1x10 drivetrains on the Moose and the Norco, especially for a very similar price point. It also comes with Maxxis 26-inch by 4.8-inch. I guess they're calling them the FBR and the FBF, so I'm assuming that means fat bike front, fat bike rear tires. So the last fat bike I was considering was the Giant Yukon 2. They have, like most of these bikes, there's different models of all of them. The 2 is the more budget-friendly model. This one reverts back to a 1x10 drivetrain. It does have the hydraulic disc brakes, and this one comes with 27.5-inch by 4.5-inch tires. So the wheels are a bit bigger, but I've got a funny feeling the overall diameter is pretty similar. The Giant has going for it that none of these other ones have is that the front fork is carbon, which reduces the weight a bit. And on top of the fork being carbon, it's also got the through axle. So that bumps it up a level. All of these bikes have a rigid seat post. There are no droppers. They are all 1x systems. They're all 1x10, except for the Rocky, which was a 1x12. However, all the rest have an aluminum fork, except for the Giant, which was a carbon fork. So after going through all of this information in the last few weeks here, I narrowed my choices down to the Giant Yukon and the Rocky Mountain Blizzard. And here's why. Both of these bikes I can get right here in Halifax without having to wait for shipping. So that's great. That sort of puts the Moose down a little bit. No one has the Bigfoot in stock in the size that I would want, so I can't even go try it out. Not only that, the Bigfoot came with mechanical discs, so that's just gone right there. I'm not going to ride a mechanical disc bike all winter long. I've seen the light of hydraulic disc brakes in recent years when I got back into this sport, and I will not be going back to mechanical anytime soon. What I ended up doing the other day is I went into Halifax and I tried out both the Blizzard and the Yukon. Seeing what I liked more, what I liked less, seeing which one I preferred, and honestly, seeing which shop gave me the best service. Now, I did this the other day without the intention of buying anything at this point in time. I wasn't going to pull the trigger. There's no reason for me to do it right this moment. There's no snow down. I don't need it right this moment. But we all know it's not how this works. So let's go take a look and see what I picked up. Alright guys, so what did I go with? I think it's pretty apparent. I went with the Rocky Mountain Blizzard 20. Given all the bikes I compared between the Moose Fat Bike 2, the Norco Bigfoot, the Giant Yukon 2, and this Rocky Mountain Blizzard 20, this Rocky Mountain blew the rest of them out of the water. At the end of the day, I came down to between this Rocky Mountain, the Moose Fat Bike 2, which a friend of mine does have, and the Giant Yukon 2. The determining factor for me was the fact that this bike didn't have to be shipped. It was in stock. It's Canadian made, much like the Moose, so that had a leg up as well. But the componentry that came on this bike at the price it was at an entry level, high quality fat bike, the component level on this was untouched. Comes with SX Eagle 1x12 drivetrain, which is phenomenal. I've already used the Eagle gear on this dirt road ride, my very first ride on this bike, I don't know how many times. The fact that it came with the 4.8 inch wide tires, nearly 5 inch wide tires from stock, and they're Maxxis tires as well, which is where you see all the pros riding on the World Cup circuit. You see a lot of Maxxis out there, and so far so good. I mean, I've only ridden this up a dirt road, but I'm very happy. Came with a SRAM X1 crankset with the dub bottom bracket, threaded bottom bracket. Again, just blown away. The majority of these bikes come with press fit bottom brackets, so just leaps and bounds ahead of its competition, I must say, with this bike. I love the blue colorway that it comes in. I love the fact that I was able to customize it right out of the shop. As most of you know, bikes at this price point don't come with pedals. So I chose the Deity orange nylon pedals. I decided to up the customization level just a bit more with the Deity knuckle duster grips in orange as well. So that's it for my fat bike adventure for today. I made the decision, I bit the bullet, I got a fat bike for the winter, and I can't wait for the snow now. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of the whole fat bike craze? Do you think it's a craze, or do you think it's something that's here to stay? I personally think it's something that's here to stay, and I can't wait to ride some more. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I appreciate all of your support out there, all of my subscribers. Thank you so much. You guys are the absolute best. If you haven't subscribed already, why not? Smash that subscribe button down below. Hit the little bell icon, get notifications every Tuesday when I drop a new video. Until next time, everybody, you know what to do. Ride on.